Good morning. My name is Drew, and welcome to Mindful Matters, the very first of a weekly discussion series. I've had this channel for a bit, but now we're going to be going live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern to talk. Build some consistency and, get something to look forward to each week. So, I'm super excited to be doing these. Um, I absolutely love this channel. I made this channel so we can just talk literally about life, feelings, emotions, whatever we're going through. Um, we have our ups, we have our downs, and then there's everything in between. This is the channel where you can feel like you can talk about whatever you want. And what's so great about this is like if you want to keep your identity private, you can make literally any account you want. So like people don't know that it's you unless the account says your full name. If you don't mind that, then sure, comment whatever you want. But like if you want to share something or ask a question, but you don't want people to know it's you, you could really do it under whatever account. So that way you're getting an answer, you are interacting, but you're still keeping private if you'd like to do that. Yeah, so it's whatever you guys want. This is open discussion. Drop your questions, drop your topics, whatever you guys want to discuss about mental health, mindfulness, and we'll talk about it. I always give the disclaimer, I'm not a therapist. So I'm not gonna like say like, oh, you gotta do this, this is gonna help you, but I I'm just someone who cares and will like try their best to, give my advice and maybe we could kind of collaborate as a community. So, what's up, horror movie aficionado? Drew, what's new? What is new? Well, yesterday, I performed at an open mic night, which was really cool. I drove about an hour out just for this open mic. Um, And, I've done a bunch of open mics, but every time I still get nervous. And I think it's been a bit since I've done one. Um, so I remember being a little nervous to do it. And then even when I was performing, I was, a little shaky. My voice I felt was kind of giving out because I was kind of nervous, but it was really fun. And I got to perform Another Day, which is my new single coming out soon. Shout out to that. I'm super excited for that. So be on the lookout because Another Day is coming out. Another Day. It's coming out soon. I'm going to be announcing that very, very shortly. Um, so yeah, I did that yesterday, and that was fun. And um, yeah, that was my day yesterday, and just some other stuff too. But yeah. Cobra Kai rapper from 2000s. Drew, hey, what's up? What it do, my friend? How's everything going with you? Everything's going good. Thank you for asking. Everything's going good. How are you doing? How is everything? How are all of you guys doing? What's up? What's been going on in life? How we all feeling? Now, um, if you want, what we could do is I have some icebreaker questions. So some questions to get us started. So, I could ask these questions. I can answer, you guys can answer, and we can talk about it. Um, maybe let's do that. So let's do the first one, and I'll type it in the chat. Type it in the chat so that way I can pull it up. What's up, NDD? I'm very close to living the dream. Ooh, what's living the dream? That's awesome. What do you consider living the dream? Uh, Here, so I'm putting this in the chat. I'm gonna pose this question to all of you guys. But NDD, I'd love to hear what you mean by you're close to living the dream. So, what is one small everyday thing that brings you a sense of joy or comfort right now? That's a great question. Um, hmm. Honestly, I feel like a lot. Um, I think like, talking to my family on the phone and those like little like good morning texts. That's like we say good morning every day, and just those little good morning texts um brings me joy. Music also really brings me joy. Um, just listening to music. Um, there are some new songs right now that I've been listening to, and I'm really, really into that. Um, and also, I'll show you something cool that I have here. I have this like it's like this calendar. It's like every day you flip it open and there's a new quote. Like, so today's July 12th. So you see what the quote says? It says, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. And then, like, you go, and tomorrow you flip to the next one. I don't want to look at what that one is, but they have one for every day of the year. So this is like a small thing that I do every day is I flip the thing to get an inspirational quote. That brings me some joy. So, yeah. Okay, so NDD says the dream would be. I gotta turn on the fan 1 second, y'all. Uh, okay. NDD says living the dream is to take action, to not keep things in your head or books anymore. That's huge. That's huge. That's a big thing. Because a lot of people, they say, I want to do this, I'm gonna do this, but then they don't actually do it, you know? Um, you can talk a talk, but if you don't actually act upon it, then it doesn't mean anything. Um, now it's not easy. It's not always easy. And I know I've been guilty of that. There are a lot of things that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I've been saying that for a while. But there comes a point where you just gotta do it. Just go for it. And a lot of times it's like fear keeping us from not doing it. Like we don't act upon it because we don't think we're going to be good at it, or we don't think the product is going to be good. But sometimes you just got to do it. Like, for example, like there were times with Another Day, the song that I'm doing, like I was not working on it because I just feared I wasn't going to do good at it. And I just kind of kept delaying it. And it was like, yeah, I'm doing it, but I wasn't actually doing it. It was just in my head. But then once I got over that hurdle and I actually really started to put the effort in and really started to challenge myself to do it, like I felt really good. It feels good when you can say like that you actually executed an idea rather than just having an idea and just never doing anything with it. You know, um, it's important to take action for sure. So I agree. I agree. Um, hey, Finn, nice picture with Shamoon. Finn says, "Do you have any advice on how to move on from a breakup?" That's a good question, Finn. Any advice on how to move on from a breakup? It's definitely not easy. You know, breakups are very tough. Um, I think, you know, I mean, it varies. Because like there's so many different like situations, like why did you break up, you know um but ultimately, you know I feel like when it comes to relationships and breakups, as hard as it can be sometimes, instead of like, obviously in the beginning, there's like a mourning, there's a longing for what it was. Um like if you have trouble moving on, like that's completely normal. But at a certain point, like it could get to a point where it's like you when you think about the relationship, you remember the good memories, and you're like, that was a very special relationship at that time of my life, and now I'm at a new time in my life where something else is meant to happen. Because I truly believe everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. So if there is a breakup, there's a reason behind it, whether you were the one who did it or whether they did it with you. Um, Ultimately, your person is out there somewhere else. And sometimes a breakup can give you more clarity. Like when you're in a relationship, sometimes people tend to lose themselves in a relationship. They forget their identity because they're so consumed in the relationship. So I would say maybe like take control of your identity again, figure out who you are so that when you enter another relationship, you can still be true to yourself. And now you have someone else who's adding to you. You're not completely relying on another person to bring you that joy and fulfillment. You have joy and fulfillment within yourself, and that other person is just adding to you and you're adding to them. So, um, I would say, keep busy, do activities, do things that you enjoy, surround yourself with friends and family and others. Um, there's going to be those moments where you're going to want to cry and be sad, and that's totally normal and okay. And I also just giving yourself the grace for that, and saying like, it's okay if I am sad. That's fine. And not don't beat yourself up if you're sad about it because it's a perfectly human normal reaction, when something happens like that. It's hard. Breakups aren't just losing a relationship, but like a lot of times you're losing a friendship too. And it can be very drastic. It could be a very big change. And it's like all of a sudden you go from like spending all this time together to boom, nothing. It's a very big change. Um, and it can be very hard depending on like why you broke up, who broke up with who. But I think overall, just surrounding yourself with others who care about you and reminding yourself that the pain won't last forever from that, even if it seems like it will, and you will be fine. So that's what I would advise. Cobra Kai rapper from 2000s. I've been doing really good. I'm creating my own book for almost 2 years, and it comes with 12 chapters and 6 volumes. And right now, I'm almost done with it, and it turns out really good. Wow, that is awesome. That is so cool. And you say writing my own book is my sense of joy. That is amazing. Um, I actually am writing something too. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's not anything concrete, but I've been writing something. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll do something with it. But I think creating your own book is amazing. And especially the fact that you've put 2 years into it, I could tell there's a lot of heart and passion. I think any project where you're spending years on it, like, because a lot of times, I don't know, at least for me, I have so many ideas. Sometimes I'll start an idea and I'll be like, this is the greatest idea ever. And then, like, a few days later, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is the worst idea. And then I get bored of it. But it's really amazing when you come up with an idea that you're so passionate about that even 2 years later, you're still just as passionate about. I feel like that's like the most important thing when you're making a project is to just keep that passion throughout. If you had the power to change the world, what would you've changed? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. That's a very loaded question. Um, if I had the power to change the world, there's a lot that I would change. Um, I would. Oh God, there's so much. You know, I mean, if I had the power, I would like end war from happening. You know, um, no wars between different countries and um, you know, no terrorism, no murders, none of that. Um, you know, when it comes to politics, and I'm not gonna get like super political, but like when it comes to politics and like those sorts of things, it's all it doesn't result in a war where people and innocent people are being killed um to come up with a solution. Like that's not the answer. Um so that would be the first thing. The second thing would be to end homelessness and hunger. Um you know, the other day I was like out in the city and like just it's so sad. You just see like so many people just like on the side of the streets, homeless with nothing, no food, no shoes. And it's like you put yourself in that situation and you think like, wow, that would be tough like to do for maybe an hour. But like they're that's their life, you know? And it's so sad because like we're in such a tough world where life is so expensive. You can have a job and it still might not be enough to support. We're in a time where not everybody has family and support that they can lean on. So we do see a lot of homelessness and you know, sometimes it's parents with their kids, sometimes it's veterans. So that always breaks my heart and that, I would put an end to that. Um if I had the power to change the world, like I don't know. I don't know if this is like if I could do anything. And I'll give out money when, I see somebody, but at the same time though, that's not it helps, but that's not gonna be the answer to solving homelessness, is by giving out some money. It's gonna take a lot more than that. Um, what else would I change? I'd also I would change like our reliance on technology. I don't know. I would change like I think like just like so much of what we do today is like so reliant on technology and social media and like kids like that it's I mean I don't know if you guys watched Toy Story 5 but like iPads are like the kids being loud or whatever you just throw an iPad in front of them or social media can be so dangerous in terms of like hurting other people we can like lose friends and lose so much time and waste so much time online like I would like make there be a healthy balance because I know social media is important. I know the internet is important and technology is important and useful but like if I had the power I would like kind of make it be like okay maybe there's some days where like there's no technology maybe like once a week or something there's like no technology and it was like a you just gotta like live life like it was back in the day when there was none of that. I mean, maybe you could like allow for like a light or something, but like no phones or any of that. But that's probably unrealistic. But those are just my wishes if I could do anything. So, Mad O Maddie. Hey Drew, how's everyone doing? Just got back from church. Nice man. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thank you for joining once again. Um, hope you had a good time at church. The perfect answer. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if it was the perfect answer, but it's the answer that I felt was dear to me. So, um, all right, let's do another question. Let's do another icebreaker question. Oh wait, never mind. We got a question from NDD. Whew. What is your dream? Are you chasing the dream or living the dream? Mm, beautiful question. Beautiful question. Uh, mm, good question. Good question. What is the dream? What is my dream? What is my dream? My dream is to my dream is to tell stories. My dream is to have like an impact on people through the art that I make. So like whether it's like film or music or just my writing or storytelling or like just content or skits or whatever, like whatever content I make, like videos or music or whatever, I want to tell stories that have an impact on people. I want to tell stories that have an impact on me and that can have an impact on other people. That's my dream. I don't know exactly specifically what that looks like, um, but that's my dream. And like, I mean, I've been doing that with YouTube, I've been like making the content, telling the stories that I want to tell. So like in a way I've been living that dream, but I also want to go beyond that as well. Like I'm still trying to pursue other stuff beyond YouTube. Um, am I chasing the dream or living the dream? I would say I'm doing a little bit of both. I'd say I'm doing a little bit of both. Now, I just made a move recently, a big move. I moved to another state because I wanted to chase the dream of doing that. I wanted to come somewhere where I can have more opportunities and have more of a chance to do those things, like tell the stories and be creative and put myself in a situation where I can live that dream. Um, so I'm definitely chasing the dream, but I'm also living it. I'm also living it because I am not only am I just like trying to like figure out what I'm doing, but I'm also, what's so great about what I want to do about writing. I want to be a writer, I want to be a storyteller. I could do it wherever and whenever I want. I mean, obviously, is it like, I can't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna make a job for myself just writing. I'm gonna write something and then boom, I make money and then whatever." No, like obviously you got to get hired and it's there's a whole thing. However, I can write whenever I want and people, that are looking for writers, how will they know if they want you? Because they'll look at like the things that you've written. So if you don't write anything and you just say, "Hey, I want to be a writer," yeah, there's nothing to do. Um, so I would say for me, oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Um, I would say for me, I am also living the dream because I'm writing, because I'm creating, and I'm doing things on my own while also chasing the dream of like, what can I do with these things, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would say that's my answer. Matt says, "Oh yeah, at the end of the movie adaptation of Ready Player One, Wade requires people to spend one day of the week offline." I remember loving that movie. It's been a while since I saw it, but I definitely need to rewatch that. That was Spielberg, right? Ready Player One. Sholin says, "I'm a writer. If it's your passion, go for it." Love that. Love that, Sholin. And even your picture looks like you're a writer. You're sitting at the desk with the button down shirt. Looks awesome. NDD says beautiful answers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, Shaolin says, write every morning after my coffee. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what that is right there? That's a routine. That's a routine, and that's a beautiful routine to have. Um, I think routine and structure are two essential things for growing and for learning and for living life. when you have routine and structure, like every morning after your coffee, doing your writing, it starts your day on a better it starts your day in a better way. That rhymes. So I think that's amazing that you do that. What do you like to write? What do you like to write if you don't mind me asking? What kind of stories? Writing stories is so good because it's like you could just do whatever you want. You could write about whatever you want. There's no limitations. There's no limitations. Nothing stopping you from writing a big action movie or a really dramatic thriller or a horror movie or whatever. Nothing's stopping you. Lefa Mel. How you doing? I hope I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry. If I didn't pronounce that right, I'm so sorry. Hi, Drew. A long, long time you hear YouTube live. How are you? Good, fine today. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. After some time, I appreciate you for coming. Thank you. Shellen says, I'm a screenwriter mainly, have had some feature films made from my scripts. That's insane. That's insane. Good for you. Congratulations. What if you want to share what feature films, I can pull them up on the chat so people can check it out. I'll check it out. So if you want to give a shout out to what those are. Nowadays you're writing novels, working on your second novel. That's awesome. That's insane. Congratulations. Screenwriter and making novels and having your scripts made into feature films, like, so cool. From Finland, you're good. Oh, thank you for joining from Finland. What time is it in Finland? I guess I could ask Google, but I mean, do you want to yeah, just tell me what yeah, what time is it in Finland? I'm curious. Is it early? Is it late? Finland is a beautiful country. I love it there. I've never been, unfortunately. I'd like to go. I want to do more traveling. I want to do more traveling for sure. Um, it's been a bit since I've done traveling. But I would love to do that. The time is, oh god, I don't know, 24-hour. Oh god, 1729. What time is 1729? What is January 1st, 1729 at midnight? What? Dude, I'm so bad with the 24-hour clock. Oi. 17, and maybe someone will beat me to it. 1729 clock time, 24 it's 5:29 p.m. There you go. 5:29. Okay. I guess I could thank you. Thank you. I guess I could have done that math, but it's summertime. It's summertime. We don't do math in the summer. um I live in Vietnam and work in the local industry here, so not Hollywood. I mean, that's still freaking amazing. That's incredible. Good for you, man. Have I ever been out of the country, and is there a particular country you ever hope to visit? I've been, like, to some of the islands out of the country. I've also been to Mexico. Um, or I've been I've been, like, to some of, like, the islands nearby. Um, and, yeah, I've been to Mexico, but that's pretty much it. I would love to go to country. I'd like to go to Italy. I'd like to go to Italy. That'd be really cool. Um, I don't know, somewhere in Europe. That'd be dope. I wrote an action comedy film called Chief. Yo, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce it. I think I'm gonna get it wrong. And a horror called Moy the Curse Returns. That's sick. Those sound really cool. Awesome. That's so cool. I like summer and the summer holidays so much. Oh, yeah, me too. How's the weather by you guys? It's really hot? Um, I know it's been very, very hot here. I've started writing down in a notebook what movies you're missing and what you're not missing. Start writing down in a notebook what movies you're missing and what you're not missing. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're writing down movies that, like, you gotta watch? Is that what you mean by that? Um, I have a good ender question. Ender question? Good ending question. But, if you guys have any questions too, please feel free to comment. But, here's one that, we could talk about too. Ooh, I like how, the glow from the Mindful Matters, uh, art right here, like, look, it makes the comment look like it's glowing up. That's pretty cool. That was not intentional, but it worked out. Okay. What is one thing you wish people understood about your mental health or how you process the world? Ooh, that's a good question. What is something I wish people understood better about my mental health? Um, I would say I wish people, I don't know. It's one thing I wish people understood about my mental health and how I process the world. I think for me, sometimes, like, oh my God, I'm trying to think. I kind of know what I want to say, but I'm like kind of having trouble putting the words to it. Um, I think sometimes it takes me a while to process things. And sometimes, like, I may feel good about something, but maybe I feel like awkward. Um, or sometimes I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, you know, being weird. Like I'm doing something that like when I'm in public, like I don't know, people are thinking that maybe I'm like acting weird or whatever. I don't know. So I wish people would understand like, like okay, like that's like a nervousness thing, that I don't know. I don't know actually. How I process the world. I take a long time to process things. So like sometimes people might think like I'm like not understanding or disagreeing, but, like, sometimes it just takes me time to process things. I don't know, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. What do you like to watch? Gotcha, gotcha. I was in Denmark for a summer program a couple years ago. I was actually there in the hotel room. I watched Cobra Kai for the first time. See, stuff like that, you never forget. You never forget. Hey, Dave, great to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm autistic, and as a kid, I used to be very bad at reading social cues. It's gotten better as an adult, but there are still some challenging days. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a great answer, by the way. Um, I mean, look, there's always gonna be challenging days, but, proud of you, Matt, for seeing that improvement within yourself, you know? It's very tough to read social cues and, just social interaction as a whole can be tough. I struggle with that a lot. I'm an introvert too, so it's tough in public sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I would say like that. Like sometimes I struggle in public. That's not like to. That doesn't mean I don't like you. That doesn't mean I'm trying to be a certain way. It's just sometimes like social interactions can be a lot for me. What movies do you like to watch? Ooh, I love Star Wars, Wicked, Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Karate Kid, Wonka, High School Musical, um, Up. Um, yeah, those are like some of the top ones. Dave the B says it might be better to take your time to process things versus reacting impulsively. Exactly. Exactly. Just need the right people around us and in our lives. Yep. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, guys. Well, oh, cool, Jack. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Well, we're gonna wrap up here. I want to thank you all so much for coming to this Mindful Matters live stream. We're gonna be doing these every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Um, well, I take that back. We're actually not gonna be doing one next week. I apologize for that. Next week I'm gonna be flying home, so I'm not gonna be home. I'm gonna be unavailable, but I will let you know. I'll put out a reminder. But I appreciate you guys. I love you so much. You're the best, Matt, Jack, Leffa, Shaolin, Dave. Appreciate you all. I hope you have a great day. And I will see you guys next time on Mindful Matters. And just always be true to yourselves and love yourself and take care.